Every diesel owner wants 300,000 miles of bulletproof performance, but most quietly kill their engine long before that. Not from abuse, but from everyday habits that seem harmless, until they cost you 5 figures. In this video, I'm breaking down the 12 most overlooked mistakes that slowly destroy your diesel, and exactly how to stop them before it's too late. We're starting with the most tempting upgrade and the one that's silently doing the most damage. Mistake number 1. Trusting a cheap tuner to wake up your diesel. That $300 tuner box might promise horsepower gains overnight, but what it really delivers is hidden heat that eats your engine alive. These one-size-fits-all tuners just dump extra fuel and bump timing without checking if your pistons, turbo, or cooling system can actually handle it. Your truck might feel stronger at first, but behind the scenes, exhaust heat climbs past 1600 degrees Fahrenheit, and cylinder pressure spikes way beyond what stock parts were ever designed for. The danger is everything seems fine. No warning lights, smooth idle, even better throttle. But that's how engines quietly crack pistons, overheat turbos, or burn up clutches. People don't notice until coolant vanishes or white smoke rolls out the tailpipe. The fix? Get a real tune built for your truck, one that watches exhaust heat, tapers torque where needed, and keeps your engine alive while still giving you safe power. Otherwise, that cheap box becomes the most expensive part you'll ever install. The next one sneaks up even quieter, and it starts the moment you turn off the key too early. Mistake number 2. Ignoring DPF regeneration cycles. You park the truck mid-regeneration thinking, "I'll finish the burn next trip." But every time you do that, you freeze half-melted soot inside a filter that's already choking for space. It's not just one bad shutdown, it's 3 or 4 in a row that quietly load the system with carbon and push back pressure through the roof. Modern diesels need around 20 to 40 minutes of steady driving to finish a regen. Stop early, and the unburned soot crusts the filter. That drives up exhaust pressure, slows the turbo, and triggers a chain reaction that burns more fuel and climbs to 1600 degrees Fahrenheit. Do it often enough, and you're looking at a clogged filter, cooked turbo, and a 5-figure repair bill. The fix? When you see the cleaning exhaust filter message, just keep driving until it clears. It's the cheapest 20-minute favor you can do for your truck and your wallet. The next one happens without warning. Right before your diesel swallows something it was never meant to digest. Mistake number 3. Running your diesel near empty. Letting your tank drop to E once or twice? No big deal. Doing it often? That's a silent killer. The last few gallons at the bottom of your tank carry all the junk you don't want. Water from condensation, rust flakes, even microbial slime. When fuel gets low, that sludge gets sucked straight into your high-pressure pump and injectors. It's like feeding sand to a Swiss watch. Modern diesel systems run at up to 29,000 psi and need clean, lubricating fuel. Just one gulp of water or debris can scar the pump and flood your injectors with metal. Owners often find out too late, when a rough idle turns into a $10,000 fuel system meltdown. The fix? Easy. Treat 1/4 tank like empty. Top off sooner, drain your water separator regularly, and avoid the urge to push another 50 miles. That little habit swap could be the cheapest insurance you ever buy. Before we move on, hit that subscribe button. This channel's all about helping you run longer, stronger, and smarter. One click now could save you thousands down the road. Mistake number 4. Skipping the water separator drain. You see that water and fuel message pop up, kill the chime, and think, "I'll drain it this weekend." That little delay is how thousands of diesel owners unknowingly load the gun. Your truck's fuel water separator is built to catch just a few ounces before that water slips into the high-pressure fuel system. And once it does, it's game over. Water strips away the fuel's natural lubrication. One gulp and your injection pump can grind itself into shrapnel. That metal goes on to ruin your injectors, your rails, even your fuel tank. Repairs from water contamination often run $8,000 to $15,000, and warranty rarely covers it. It takes under 2 minutes to open that drain and let the junk out. Do it once a month or every oil change, because skipping it is like leaving acid in your fuel system and hoping it doesn't explode before payday. Mistake number 5. Overfilling your engine oil. You think you're doing your truck a favor, adding a little extra oil just in case. Maybe the stick looked low on a cold morning. Maybe your quick lube shop punched in the wrong fill spec. Either way, you're not protecting your engine. You're loading a hidden grenade. Too much oil turns your crankcase into a blender. The crank whips the oil into foam, full of tiny air bubbles that collapse under pressure. Bearings lose their cushion. Turbos overheat. And even your DPF gets hammered with oil mist that tricks it into back-to-back regions. One extra quart can lift the dipstick by half an inch on a Duramax. That's all it takes. The fix? Know your engine's number, 10 to 13 quarts depending on platform, and stick to it. Check hot, check level, and don't trust the just add more myth, because this latte-colored mistake could cost you $10,000 and a seized turbo. If too much oil can kill it, wait till you see what too little heat does. Mistake number 6, running too many short trips. Starting a diesel and shutting it off 5 minutes later is like lighting a campfire and pouring water on it before it catches. You never give it time to burn clean. Every cold start sends raw diesel past the rings, leaves water in the crankcase, and keeps the exhaust system half awake. Instead of evaporating, fuel and moisture mix into a thick peanut butter sludge that eats bearings, gums turbos, and floods the DPF with soot. Trucks doing 2-mile coffee runs or bouncing between job sites never warm up the oil above 180 degrees. And when that happens daily, you're cooking up 7 to 10% fuel dilution, enough to make your dipstick smell like a gas pump. The fix? Just give it heat. Take one solid 20-minute highway trip a few times a week. Let the oil reach real operating temp and stay there, because the most expensive sludge you'll ever make is the kind you brewed one shortcut at a time. Mistake number 7, skipping turbo cooldown. You just finished hauling 12,000 pounds up a steep grade. The turbo's spinning at 50,000 RPM. Its core is glowing at 850 degrees, and you shut it off like it's no big deal. What happens next? The oil that should be cooling those bearings stops flowing and starts baking. Literally, it turns into carbon crust that scrapes and scars every time the turbo spins again. Diesel turbos don't like sudden stillness. That heat has nowhere to go, and without fresh oil, the bearings slowly grind themselves into a repair bill. On average, 1 minute of idle drops exhaust temps by over 800 degrees. That's all it takes to protect a $4,000 part. Think of it like a jet engine. Pilots don't slam the engines off after full thrust. They coast. Same with your truck. Give it 90 seconds of idle after a hard pull. That little pause, it's the cheapest insurance your turbo will ever get. Now imagine stacking that heat while towing your full payload uphill. That's where the next silent killer kicks in. Mistake number 8, constant overloading. Your truck might be rated to tow 20,000 pounds, but that doesn't mean it enjoys dragging it up a mountain at full throttle. Every long hill at full weight sends exhaust heat soaring past 300 degrees, hot enough to melt piston edges, cook turbo blades, and quietly roast your wallet. The scary part? Most trucks don't even come with a factory exhaust gauge, so you have no idea it's happening until it's too late. High exhaust heat builds fast when you're lugging in high gear, underload, at altitude, or with old filters. And unlike a quick redline burst, heat damage on hills is slow and steady, just enough to weaken parts over time. The fix? Downshift earlier, keep your engine spinning faster, ease off the pedal a little, and install a real pyrometer. Saving 150 degrees on a grade could save you $15,000 in repairs down the road. Mistake number 9, running low on engine oil. Most diesel owners don't think twice about a small oil drip or a quart missing from the stick, but that no big deal turns into a silent killer. Oil doesn't just lubricate, it cools, cushions, and literally fires the injectors on some power stroke engines. Drop even 1 quart and your bearings run hotter, your pressure drops, and your turbo spins on foam instead of fluid. That's how a $6 jug of oil turns into a $6,000 short block. Low oil can come from the usual spots: a misty bell housing, a front cover seat, or just skipping the stick check too long. Once air gets into the oil pickup, it's game over. So here's the fix. Treat your dipstick like your fuel gauge. Check it every fill-up, and if you're towing, stash a spare jug behind the seat. 1 extra quart today might save you from hearing a rod try to exit the block tomorrow. Mistake number 10, babying your diesel too much. A diesel that never gets pushed hard is like a chimney with no fire. Quiet, yes, but caked with soot. Light footing around town every day might feel smooth, but under the hood, carbon quietly stacks up in the turbo vanes, the EGR valve, and your particulate filter. Over time, that buildup slows boost, clogs airflow, and leads to warning lights, or worse, a stuck turbo and a $2,700 repair bill. The fix? Let it breathe. Once a week, after the oil's warm, give it a proper stretch. A short highway pull with firm throttle spikes, exhaust heat past 950 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to burn off soft soot before it turns to sludge. If you see a regen starting, don't shut it off early. Think of it like brushing your teeth. Skip it too many times, and the grime becomes permanent. Let the truck work a little, and it'll thank you a lot. You'll want to stick around for the final reveal, but first, there's one more system almost everyone overlooks. Mistake number 11, trusting your cooling system too much. Nobody brags about flushing coolant, but this quiet system is what keeps your diesel from cooking itself alive. Over time, coolant breaks down, acids build up, protective additives wear out, and the inside of your engine starts to rust, clog, and crack from the inside out. Without setting off a single dash light, think of it like high blood pressure. No symptoms until the stroke hits. One neglected hose or a sludged oil cooler can turn into a $9,000 head gasket job, just because that flush at 100,000 miles advice assumed you weren't towing a backhoe through the Rockies. The fix is dirt cheap. Test strips cost $12. Flush with the right coolant every 30,000 to 45,000 miles if you tow or idle a lot, and swap hoses every 6 to 8 years. It's not exciting maintenance, but it's the reason your engine makes it to 300,000 miles instead of cracking at 130. Mistake number 12, charging through deep water. Splashing through that flooded job site rut feels heroic, right up until your engine gulps a coffee cup of muddy water. A diesel's pistons need air, not liquid. Water cannot compress, so the crank tries to crush it and instead bends a rod, cracks a piston, or splits the block. One gulp can turn a six-figure truck into a driveway ornament before the wheels stop spinning. The danger hides in everyday puddles, washed-out site entrances, storm drain lakes on Main Street, even slush pits after snowmelt. At 5 to 10 miles per hour, the bow wave climbs over the bumper and funnels straight into the fender-mounted airbox. 2 golf ball splashes, about 4 tablespoons, are enough to lock a 6.7-liter cylinder solid. The fix is as cheap as patience. Slow to a crawl, keep the wave ahead of you, and if the starter stalls afterward, stop cranking and pull the glow plugs first. A 5-minute pause is a lot cheaper than a $30,000 crate engine. Now you know how to keep your diesel alive. What if you want even more power? Up next, 10 illegal mods that work so well, they should probably stay off the record.